To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. Think she can...
Hello guys and welcome to Rise of Legion India League of Legends Championship. We are in the round of 16 and today we have a very exciting match between White Shadows that are on the blue side and PNX Red from Sri Lanka that are on the red side. Casting with me today is going to be Karan, Anthracite over. What's up Karan, how are you? Are you excited for this match?
This looks like a really exciting match coming in. We saw very strong performances come from both sides last time, and they've been very experienced sides. White Shadows has been there all along. There've been minor changes in the squad, but they've been doing very well. Jodha sort of dealing a massive damage on Vel'Koz last game as a support, and pretty surprising dominance they showed.
Do that, and this is like you're sort of now coming on the business side of the tournament, right, where some of the better teams are now qualifying. So these matches, as we progress in the tournament, will keep getting more competitive, and that's exactly what I'm looking forward to, because PNX Red is considered one of the better teams in Sri Lanka, and White Shadows from India are considered one of the tournament favorites, right? So this is going to be a very exciting match as we get into the picks and bans, and you can see already White Shadows focusing on all the heavy CC picks that PNX Red loves to use. The Morgana getting banned out, the Mals are getting banned out, and that's the respect ban from the support side from PNX Red. As you can see, the Vel'Koz being banned out, like you rightly said, Jodha carrying from support in the first game when they played, right, and the Zyra ban as well. So what are your thoughts so far on the picks and bans coming out?
I mean, I was kind of disappointed on not seeing Jodha on number 1 on your list. I mean, he did deserve it, but yeah, they don't want that high CC, high burst, a lot of damage dealing supports, and Jodha is known to play Vel'Koz, played Vel'Koz a lot in the mid lane, so it was quite sensible taking it off him. Evelyn, again, they don't want to deal with that burst champion, it's very annoying. So bans kind of look pretty standard. We see an Echo pickup. Do you think it's an Echo jungle?
Yeah, that most definitely could be. Although at World's Plains, Echo is 0 for 5 right now, that does not stop Shokya from picking it up. He has been practicing this champion a lot. And that Evelyn man also, again, Shokya, he is known to play Evelyn really effectively. So that's going to be a first pick Echo. Though I do feel that can be flexed to the mid lane as well, as Shadow is no slouch in playing that champion. But on the other hand, the Sri Lankan special, that Taric support gets picked out right there for PNX Red. And that's going to be a bot lane first 2 pickups on that Kaisa and the Taric, which gives some counterplay back to White Shadows, because Ganja has played fantastic on the Ashe in the last game, and there's no lack of poke champions that Jodha can play in the bot lane. There's Brand that he can pick up, even though Vel'Koz is banned and Zyra is banned. I guess that makes sense, because they wanted to pick, they wanted to pick the Taric, and hence they banned out these poke champions. It's gonna be the Nautilus pickup for Jodha. So it's going to be the Ashe Nautilus bot lane. And what are your thoughts right now, Karan, looking at the Kaisa Taric versus the Ashe and the Nautilus? Very interesting combination of champions, I'd say.
Well, Ashe and Nautilus, I've seen Ashe with a lot of different other supports. Ashe and Nautilus will definitely also sort of work. The first level, you have the CC coming in from the W, the slow coming in from Ashe, and then you have the Nautilus Q. That's a lot of damage. Kaisa Tarek, I've been seeing a lot of Tarek being played. I'm not sure why, but yeah, in this tournament I've seen a lot of Tarek being played out. Not one of my favorite supports right now, but yeah, Kaisa definitely a threat. Tarek is very important when it comes to team fighting. So I think they're going around the team fighting comp picking Ilaoi also.
Yeah, and that's what they love to do. They really like to draft compositions that can help out each other. And you can look at it this time, right? Like Ilawi, that's the second time Tempest will have to play against an Ilawi. The first time he picked a Gangplank and honestly had a rough time. This time the Gangplank has been banned against him, so he will have to come up with another pick to deal with that Ilawi. We'll have to wait and watch to see what that pick is going to be. On the other hand, you do see the mid lane has been focused by White Shadow, so Nico ban coming in right there. Do not want PNX Red's mid laner to play that. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how both the teams round out the compositions. At this point, the mid and the top have yet to be picked on the side of White Shadows, and the jungle and the mid laner have to be picked on the side of PNX Red. So I'm guessing the mid laner will get counter pick for PNX Red. So the Shadow will probably have to blind pick his mid laner at this point. And the Gragas fan coming in as well, so probably some jungle focus. It's gonna be a Silas. Silas has gotten nerfed, hasn't he, at the side? Like, why do you think that's still a relevant pick in the current meta?
I mean, we did see Silas come up in Worlds, and like I think it was 1 or 2 games. Both the games, the Silas suffered a lot. It has been nerfed. It has been hit pretty bad. So I don't know if Silas pick was it was smart, honestly. But yeah, let's see how he plays the Silas. Do you think the Silas is going to go mid, or do you think he's going to go jungle? Because jungle Silas has become a little hard.
I think that might be the mid Silas, because jungle Silas has really gotten hard, but you never know, man. PNX side can look to surprise people. And we'll have to wait and watch to see what happens. And like I think that's gonna round it off with a rumble, which surprisingly could be in the mid lane. So that's just going to be a Jace pickup. So really strong laning phase coming out either from the top lane, and Shadow being picking up Syndra against what could be a rumble mid. So PNX Red definitely, mixing it up in terms of what they want to play here. And I'm actually really excited to look at the composition, knowing how it pans out. So a lot of heavy team fighting and protection and peel with the Taric as well. What are your thoughts coming into the composition now that we have both, seen them both happen?
Well, okay. So if I just consider both squads on paper, they look like both squads which are very adept at team fighting. You have that burst coming in from Syndra. You have that basic poke coming in from Syndra Jace, and with an Ashe, if you can get a pickup, it's just a snowballing fight from there. On the other side, you have Tarek to sort of prevent those burst champions, so it's also really good. And with Rumble, Ilawi, you're again looking at a sort of a team fighting setup. So on paper, these squads look uh, like the champions look sort of evenly matched from where I see, and it'll be very interesting to see how the team fight goes in. You see the Kaisa picking up the cleanse. She just doesn't want to deal with CC at this point. Do you think she will suffer a bit taking cleanse over heal?
I think so. I mean, in laning phase, Nautilus Q is what they're afraid of mostly, even Syndra and Ashe. So, in the composition wise, yeah, laning phase could be a little difficult because they do not have any sort of heal to save them. Having said that, Taric has gone exhaust, so their game plan in this early game is pretty set. Just farm up and let Kaisa get relevant to get one or two items. Because the poke from Ashe and the Ashe ult, the Nautilus ult, the Syndra stun, there's a lot of things that can literally kill off or stun lock the guy. So the cleanse right there makes absolute sense. Having said that, though, I do feel like White Shadow's composition is a tad bit more aggressive with more playmaking potential in each lane, and there's Echo Jungle as well. You can go in and out. So I am really excited to see how White Shadows plays this game, because don't forget, these guys are considered one of the favorites to win the tournament. These are one of the top 3 teams, right? So the expectation still is heavily on White Shadows to be able to make these plays happen and win, and it's up to PNX Red to actually cause the upset in this side. And they have some very interesting compositions, a lot of melee, mind you. Having said that, it's just Kaisa who's ranged here, but the Rumble, the Ilawi, right, 5v5 setup, that composition is just very hard to deal with for White Shadows, and they will have to play or look at at their catch potential just like they did in game 1 to make these plays happen. Otherwise, in a pure up 5v5, I do not see them winning purely because of the massive AoE ultimates that Rumble and Ilawi can bring to the table. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Though I do feel bot lane again will be a big target for White Shadows to attack, because the Kaisa Taric just lane does not have much agency to do, especially against an Ashe and Nautilus who can look to poke like incessantly all over again. So we might see some early plays happen again, and just like game 1 where White Shadows took all the advantages in the bot lane and translated everywhere else, you might see a repeat of that happening, and it'll be up to PNX Red to make sure that doesn't happen. So we'll
That's
have
very
to wait
true.
and watch. Yep.
That's very true. I mean, they have given both the priority lane, Nautilus and Ashe. It can end up being a very aggressive lane. The CC they offer at level 6 almost guarantees you a kill if you can like connect both your ultis. It's almost just a complete insta lockdown for one guy and then you just get the kill. So it's a very high aggression game. It's a very high aggressive side, I feel. WS. We've all seen in the past they like that European mentality. They're the kind of side that likes to fight more. So I'm really excited how this game pans out to be. What do you think, Bishi, will be the pace of this game?
Very aggressive. White Shadows is not a team to play it slow. Probably one of the more aggressive teams in the tournament. So you can pretty much bet that from level 1 to level 6, you might see some plays happen. And they are not the team to just farm up and wait till late game. So that's what I really like about this team as a whole. They play very, very fast. They look to make plays. They might make some bad plays in the process, but that will never stop them from making plays. So I'm looking at White Shadows to be the aggressor in this case, but I'm also looking to see how PNX Reds deals with that, because they need level 6 to make things happen. Lavi ultimate, Silas ultimate, Rumble ultimate, right? Taric ultimate. There's a lot of level 6 ultimate opportunities like that they have to play with. So the early game they really need to survive, specifically the bot lane. So PNX Red's like plan would be to just scale up and get like an item or two heading into the mid game and then try to make these 5v5s happen, because that's the only way they can win. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out, which team is able to execute on their plans better, and the ones who do that will be the ones that will end up taking away the victory here. And I still have to give the edge to White Shadows purely because of the player skills and the fact that they have the aggressive and more playmaking sort of champions, right, who can engage from far with the Nautilus ultimate, the Ashe ultimate. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen, and like no skins, so I'm surprised from either teams. Okay, no, Project Ash and TA Shadow, so skin game also
Yeah,
coming strong. And Battle Academy Jace, I forgot, how does Tempo not have a skin on Jace? That doesn't make sense. So
that's very
Tempo's, yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about Tempest. Like this guy was a great jungle main, played for Storm Raiders, now has joined White Shadows as the top lane, and he had also played top lane for a brief stint last year when the Legion of Champions tournament happened, right? So definitely not unfamiliar, and he's known to play carries. Like he's been the kind of player that has scrimmed a lot with White Shadows and has always played champions that have had great impact in lane and in game. So we're definitely looking at him to make these plays happen, because Jace is one of his extremely comfortable picks to play. And against a melee range Ilawi, right, there is a lot of potential that this Jace can look to make plays happen. So, and game 1 for Tempest did not pan out as great as he would want. So hopefully he's looking to redeem himself in this game and look to make plays happen, get advantages in the laning phase, and probably pull off a carry performance.
yes, guys, and with that, we are in the game. Thank you for logging in and watching this stream. If you want to follow more, log on to legion.lenovo.com. Follow more progress of the tournament. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this page to follow more streamers from the Indian scene. And we start the game with a pause. Like I was talking with Apple yesterday. Is it sort of like a good luck charm in the League of Legends India scene?
Well, considering South Asia's internet infrastructure and knowing how things are, pauses are but a part of our custom games. Having said that, though, hopefully this pause is just for a minute or so. I think it was PNX Red who called for it. Do note that, guys, we have three more amazing games coming your way. It's going to be an action-packed day for Rise of Legions as we are in the round of 16. Only the top 8 teams will qualify for the next quarterfinal round, which will be a best of 3, right? So as the tournament, like, now that we have a pause time, let's talk a bit more about the tournament. Like, as I said, what are your thoughts on how certain teams have played, and what are you looking forward to in terms of the future possible matches, as well as just the way the tournaments have gone so far?
Oh, the games have definitely picked up. If you remember yesterday's game, Instinct Esports versus VPG, we got the first glimpse of what this tournament can bring. a nail-biting game, a nail-biting finish. I was almost able to talk the whole night because I was screaming that game a lot. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. These guys have just, now that we've stepped into the round of 16, these guys have picked up the pace. It's got into serious business. We see a lot of flashy plays coming in. We see a lot of team synergies coming in, and dominant performances in close games are both there in the tournament. So I'm really excited to see how it pans out to be. Till now, the round of 32, it was really fun. It was really nice. We see a lot of new teams coming up and trying, and it was a really commendable effort from their side as well. So Bishi, if you have to pick a dark horse today from the side of White Shadows, who do you think it's going to be?
I mean, honestly, the dark horse will have to come from the side of PNX Red because everyone on White Shadows is like extremely good and extremely talented. But I am
I mean,
looking.
if we have to pick one on both sides, like the guy to look out for.
Honestly, it has to be for me, right? The number 3 on my list has to be Shadow. I always look at Shadow and Shokya as the ones that really make plays happen. But I'm very impressed by how Ash and by Ganja and Rookie have played in the bot lane in the game 1. So I'm looking forward to plays from everyone. But my eyes will always be on Shadow. This guy is extremely consistent in his farming and his laning. And if it is one player who can look to make a massive impact in teamfight, it is going to be him. On the other hand, though, like honestly, PNX Red is a bit of a mixed bag. All their players play really well, but I do feel it's gonna be, my eyes are definitely gonna be on Shania on the jungle, because if Silas has to look to make plays happen, he needs to have a good early game and he needs to be the one to dictate the early game such that PNX Red can come out of it unscathed, because the top lane and the bot lane are not winning matchups for them, and White Shadows love to play aggressor. So I'm gonna look at the jungle on the side of PNX Red. I'm gonna look at the mid lane on the side of White Shadows to see what happens. And we are back in the game, guys. Level 1 invades, perhaps. Yeah, that's good.
Could be. Honestly, we don't know, and that and we go to another boss again called by PNX. So I think there's some network issues. So sorry for the delay. We'll just get right back to it while the players
That's
fix it.
completely fine. I think these guys are ready itself, so must be just a very temporary pause. Should not delay the game much, and it's just the start of the game. But you do see that both the teams are looking for an invade, and with the Nautilus Ash. With Poke, but then there's also the Taric with the stun. Who do you think has a stronger level 1 here? It looks like White Shadows do, but you never know. Like I feel if Taric can get like multi-man stun off, perhaps they can also look to do a lot of damage. So, what are your expectations from this level 1?
I mean, level 1 Nautilus is really strong as well, because you have the Drudge line, and on top of that you just have your passive to sort of give that mini stun right there, mini snare. So the Ashy W itself is very strong. So a level 1 fight would be very interesting, because you, like you said, we also have the Taric who can just stun up multiple people, and at the same time you have the Kaisa with the Nikathian range. So
yes, and it's a very interesting pathing on the side of PNX Red, just hiding in the bush, waiting for someone to come there. But White Shadow is also playing it smart, know that they don't need to take any risky plays. They're anyways going to win the top and the bot lane purely because of their champions, and smartly enough choose to back out right there. So standard starts coming out. It does seem, however, the Echo will start his blue side. Again, the focus seems to be on the bot lane. He will park downwards, get the Ashe and Nautilus ahead like he did in game 1. But then Tempest will have to play safe, because the Silas is also starting on the red side, and he could look to make a level 2 cheese gang happen, and also the Silas could come bot. So I'm guessing PNX Red identifying that the bot lane will be the crux here to make sure that plays will happen, and both the junglers will be focusing there.
that's true. So Bishi, what are your thoughts on the mid lane? Syndra versus Rumble matchup.
Oh, it's a very good
Syndra
matchup. Yeah, but Syndra
has that range.
Syndra does, and you would assume that the range matchup would make it very easy for the Syndra to do, but there's a lot of tankiness, a lot of, like, there's no mana, resourceless champion. That's what Rumble is, right? And he has, you know, like, it's very, his damage is very unsusceptible. You can't figure out that he's going to do a lot of damage, and he has a lot of CC with his E as well, right? So I wouldn't say out and out that this matchup is like, oh, completely in favor of the Syndra. Like, Rumble can actually look to out damage, and with the help of a right gank can actually snowball that lane pretty easily. In level 1 though, you see a nice stun being there. Rookie trying to ward out and defend, but at that point, a small trade coming out. A lovely trade back, and the Taric is reduced around 250 HP in the top lane. However, you see Ilawi taking a lot of damage. Tempest on his comfortable champion, but never mind, gets healed again. Ilawi will do some damage to Jace, but a lot of trades happening everywhere, and this is exactly the kind of matchup we were expecting to have, Karan. Every lane looking to trade just from level 1 onwards.
That's very true. They all want to fight. They all want blood as soon as possible. That's the thing with aggressive teams. When you're playing against an aggressive team, they sort of set the pace of the game. You have to trade with them, or they will just keep harassing you and keep out trading you. So you can't play too defensively against an aggressive team. And that's what's happening right now. PNX is replying with their trades, and I'm really excited to see how this game plans out to be. Rishi, do you expect a bloodbath?
Yes, I expect nothing but a bloodbath. I think PNX Red are also a team that loves to fight. They have picked champion that they get to fight. Another nice ward there. Tempest will duke really well to avoid the Silas E right there. A very, very smart gank avoid. Because I was just about to comment how Tempest just pushed out his wave and is a bit of trouble right now. Because Ilawi can just look to freeze it at that point. So he's technically in a bit of a difficulty. But a nice gank avoided by him will make sure that he's able to push that wave out. So disaster avoided right there from Tempest.
That was a really nice juke. The way he juked out, that was really nice. Tempest is pushed up a little bit, but I think he should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Echo, what lane do you think Echo should focus right now, considering both top and bottom?
Right now he's focusing on the lane called Jungle because he noticed that Silas came top and he immediately ran to his blue and got the blue for himself. So that's just going to be smart counter jungling coming out from Shokya, knowing that, you know, he is far away, has his opportunities. Lemonade has disconnected. I feel there should be a pause. Every player on the side of, yes, PNX Red did have a disconnect. So good on Ganja to realize that there was a disconnect and he promptly stopped auto attacking him. So sportsmanship coming out right there, but it's unfortunate that PNX Red's bot lane has disconnected. I believe he will look to reconnect back. Both the bot lane disconnected apparently, so fortunate right there. Meanwhile, you see already, right? Like, Karan, what are your thoughts on that invade right now? You see that Echo has taken away the blue, Nautilus is there as well. Do you think they could look to fight in that riverside jungle or just look to back off?
I mean, they could be looking to fight right now. If Rumble overextends, there's a Nautilus, there's an Echo, and the Syndra can follow up. Syndra is pretty nearby, so a fight could just break out right there. Or the red side might choose to back off because of the disconnects. But either way, if the red side, if the Silas or the Rumble sort of steps out of the line, you can definitely see a fight breaking out right there.
True, and I think we just are waiting for just a few minutes for the game to reconnect. But in the top lane, though, the Ilawi, right, even though the trades have been taken, the Ilawi does find herself with a small CS lead and a health advantage, but nothing too worrying at this point. So the lane pretty much can be considered. Even the mid lane, however, you do see Shadow keeping up with his CS, has been, you know, gotten himself a nice 10 to 12 CS lead already, which is really good for him. And that's what I was talking about in general. Like, the guy's consistency in farming and just being able to always be consistent what he does is an advantage for White Shadow heading into the game. He's the guy, I think, who keeps things stable for this team, you know, like, because you have crazy players everywhere, right? You have bot lane Joda playing, you have top lane Tempest, Shokka going in and out. I think Shadow is that one guy who brings that stability into the team, and that's exactly what White Shadow is the roster need for them right now. But having said that, the CS leads are now getting big for the bot lane and the mid lane. What are your thoughts on that laning phase so far, Karan?
The laning phase is going pretty nice. We see a trade going up top. Ilawi and Joda, Ilawi and Tempest trade a few blows. Tempest is a level behind. He is suffering a bit on the farm.
Yeah, but he will catch that wave, I hope so.
He will catch that wave.
But still will be in a CS deficit post that, so.
That's true. But the thing you mentioned about Shadow is we've seen White Shadow play from a long time, and the problem that we faced with them is
it's a
the lack of
flash
stability.
onto the Ash, and it's a nice stun and a brilliant flash from Ganja to run away from that, and that gank might just be averted. Joda doing what he can to survive right there. They are relentless in their approach, but both the flashes being bored. A return Q from Loki does not afraid to freaking take trades, and this point almost dies, but here comes Rumble and will come to get first blood. A brilliant roam coming out from Mikasa right there to grab first blood, and what looked like it would be a great turnaround to a gank by White Shadows ended up losing them their first kill, and the Rumble now lovely roam on the bot side to get himself a kill, and that's PNX said coming off the board.
I mean, honestly, it was just the numbers, but you can't complain. Both people from White Shadows played that really well. The re-engage on Joda, if Rumble wouldn't have shown up, he might have just been able to get a quick kill on the side. So it was played really well, but the numbers always play an advantage. Looking at the top lane, what do you think?
I do feel like Tempest is getting some of the better trades, but then when the Illaoi gets the E, right, it's just in one E. Look at it, one E and Tempest is in trouble right now. He has to run away, dodge it, it could not dodge it. And that's how solo 1v1, that's twice that Tempest has died to an Illaoi. At this point, they must look to just ban out that champion because he's having a difficult time, on that champion right now. And he does not have teleport, so he missed out on so much CS in the top lane. And that's one advantage right now. PNX Red coming here to fight, showing they're not a team to be meddled around with. A brilliant Q from Joda, but that's the thing, Rumble's effectiveness on that champion, the tankiness saves him at that point, but not before Shadow being it on himself, and Shania comes there to salvage what was left, but could not do much, and that's going to be the first kill going to White Shadows in the hands of their mid laner Shadow. What are your thoughts on the whole series of fights so far, Karan?
I mean, it's like you predicted, the bloodbath has already started. And I'm very surprised to see Joda rotate so fast. He's been really adapting to that support role really well. And that actually got them a clutch kill on Rumble. Putting Shadow ahead, they realized Shadow was the one who was very ahead in this lane. So might as well gank him, put him a little more ahead, and start the lead from there on. And also, as you said about Tempest and Illaoi, maybe they should be looking to ban Illaoi because if sometimes some people can't deal with a certain champion, and if Illaoi is that champion for Tempest, they should be looking to ban.
True, because that's twice has happened. Having said that, though, White Shadows are still having a small goal lead purely because of their immaculate CS in the mid and the bot lane, where they're able to have 20 plus or 10 plus CSCs. And Shadow in this game has had a better game than game 1, where he's able to get the kill for himself and grab the CS lead. So it's not as if, White Shadows are anyway losing this game at all. It's just that we sort of have expectations that we would be more aggressive and have better of these trades. But PNX Red are responding them, and how being a more proactive team in terms of roams. And I'm excited, because this matchup is not going to be one-sided anymore. Definitely looks like it's going to be a cracking of a game. It'll be up to White Shadows to make it their responsibility to win, and it's a nice call right there. Does not have any response whatsoever. It's a free dragon being taken over by Shopkeep right there, and that's going to be the Cloud Dragon going to White Shadows. In the middle, however, you see that Janja's coming again. The ult barely misses. And
The Ganja sort of mistimed that ult, mistimed this stun.
If that ult line would have been a kill right there. And again, Tempest just gets E'd right over and over. And that's just these one E, right? Illaoi's E managed to do so much damage that the entire trading pattern for Jace goes down the drain, because that one E takes him down 30% HP and he can't do anything about that. This is a lane that is extremely difficult for him right now, and he needs to either farm it out at this point or look to have Shopkeep come up and get a kill, because the aggressiveness coming out from Nisha on the top lane is like extremely strong. And that's one lane for PNX. That's the only lane for PNX that's winning massively right now.
That's very true. It's Shokya should sort of rotate and should sort of take that pressure off Jace. But I think there's a swap happening. Jace is going mid and Syndra is going top. So that'll be sort of interesting. Shadow is ahead. Shadow also has a more sort of a range advantage on Illaoi. So it should be sort of comfortable for Syndra. Do you think Tempest will be
this already, right? White Shadow's realizing that there's no way that that's going to happen, so they just send Shadow top and get Jace to farm out the mid lane. A very smart rotation coming out right there, giving an easier lane, because Shadow's not having a difficult time against the Illaoi or the Rumble at this point, so Jace will have a better time farming out of the mid lane.
I mean, that's true. You just saw Shadow do insane amount of burst damage to Illaoi, making Illaoi back off. So Shadow will be able to farm comfortably up top. Tempest still needs to catch up on some farm. So him being against Rumble is sort of an even sort of a situation going in. Looking at the game up till now, what do you think? Like, you're almost stepping into the mid game mark. What should be the strategy on the side of WS?
WS is known, in spite of all the aggression, they are a team that knows how to rotate around the map, knows how to get objectives really well, and that's one thing I feel that their experience will be a tad bit better than PNX, right? So they did get the dragon, they did push out the wave, did rotate the lane, so they're doing what they can to salvage this early game that was sort of going away from them, and they now are the ones with the 1000 goal lead, right? Even if they're one kill down at this point. So they just need to farm it out and look for Ashe ults, Nautilus ults, just the same way that Ganja has been looking out for these trades, to continue doing that, because that is going to be the way for them to establish bigger leads and wait for Shockia to be around and help them out. And oh, Shockia gets in trouble, and the Ilawi, I have to give credit to the Ilawi, right? He's had some really nice catches on to White Shadows, and you know he's definitely picking up his part on the game. And this time again though, Alawi might be in trouble. There's an Echo ult, there's a Syndra ult, and my god, that's not going to be enough. And Rumble tried to help him out. It's a nice flash heal right there from Jace to prevent the Rumble from running away. But here comes Echo. Echo needs one more auto for his third passive proc. Can he flash? But he does not have flash, and Ikasai will just survive the skin of his teeth. And that's a tad bit over aggressive right there. Very well capitalized by White Shadows. And that's another kill going on the side of the carry mid laner. Oh, Shockia could be in trouble. He wants blood right now. Has to ult away, but this is where Shania is there on the Silas to get him back, and Shockia does not have flash value, but here comes Tempest. Gets a kill back, so at least makes it about for one time. Again, no, never mind, he comes back again. The redemption of Tempest, getting a double in the top lane. It's a nice Ashe ultimate, however. Ganja has to flash away, but here comes Kaisa with the auto, gets him. Krishna, not has to run away. This was a nice Taric stun. Will Lemonade survive is something we'll have to see, but that's a 1-for-0 trade, so the bot lane effectively winning out for PNX Red, and my lord, these fights are happening all across the map.
Yeah, that's very true. That was a really intense fight. I almost saw you go out of breath on that one, but it was a good back and forth happening, and White Shadow sort of played that pretty nicely on the top lane. They saw Ilawi getting too aggressive. They saw Ilawi getting caught out of position, and they punished her on that. Bot, however, I was sort of surprised seeing Taric and Kaisa downright win that 2v2 situation. Do you think the Nautilus and Ashe could have played that better?
I feel as if Kaisa's damage is very underappreciated when the tiny fights go longer, and Ashe does not have the damage to do it. And the Taric ult was coming in really clutch right there, mitigates a lot of damage that someone can put out on the enemy team, right? So that's something that's really helpful for them. That's a really nice trade. Now that his ghost trade is up, Tempest is back in the game with that double kill, helping him a lot. Oh lord, I was going to be in trouble, but look at the 1v1 that he almost manages to do, but survives the skin of his teeth. The Silas right there, and Shadow's like showing, bro, you know what, if you need to kill me, get more than one person, because I'm not gonna die 1v2 anymore.
The burst that Shadow offered right there was insane. He was just like, okay, Silas, you want me to fight you, I'll just burst you down. And meanwhile, the bot side of White Shadows is taking that Infernal Drake sort of uncontested. Is that a very big mistake on the side of PN?
I mean, they're choosing to gank the lanes, but again, in terms of objectives, it's really White Shadows that are coming out on top right now. As you can see, the second dragon and Infernal Mindy going, so that's massive for them. The next dragon is going to be a Cloud, so not that mandatory at this point. And now, with the 2 kills on the Jace as well, Tempest is feeling comfortable to take these trades happen. Here comes, oh, the Q barely misses on Nautilus, and Echo tried to make some trade happen in the mid lane, does not happen. And it's looking like a very even game at the side. There is a 2000 goal lead, mind you, but that still does not change the fact that, you know, PNX Red have come to fight, and here comes the Tempest Shadow combination going on. The Ilawi does not have enough burst to kill them, does a lot of damage, mind you, but a really nice roam coming out from Jace, looks to get them. Here comes Rumble, he does have his ultimate, and that's just going to be another kill coming out. It could be Shadow, so Shockia who will take that. So again, 2 really proactive plays coming on from White Shadows, and now that game that we thought was going to be even suddenly looks not to be even, as Shadow looks to take the first star in the top lane.
Well, that's where the experience sort of comes in. White Shadows know where their opponents are making mistake, and they sort of punish them every single time. Very nice rotations coming in from Rocky. And that's a gank made. He goes on to Taric. Taric will pop his ultimate. Will pop his
difficult though.
Silas coming in.
But, oh, it's a beautiful Ashe arrow to kill the Silas, and Kaisa gets a kill back in return. But Tempest becoming the roaming jungle Jace, as we can call him. Some really nice rotations coming out right there, playing for the team as a player. And now that's going to be the Kaisa who might be in trouble right now. But oh, the snipe from the Dragon Pit himself. Tempest gets on himself another kill. Now, from having a difficult inning phase to going 4-1 and 2, this Jace is pulling off some amazing moves in the game.
They just need to ban Ilawi in front of Tempest. I mean, the moment you saw him switch out of that Ilawi, you just saw him doing more damage. And ooh, what a burst there on Rumble. He just survived on a sliver of health. He has to pop that ulti to clear off the minion waves. And Ilawi will come in to back him up at mid turret. So now that we see White Shadow sort of showing dominance, sort of taking turrets, what do you think PNX should do at this point?
Look to fight. Sincerely, just look to go as 5 and fight, because that's the best bet of making things happen. With the Rumble ultimate, with the Taric ultimate, right? I feel as if they are very well equipped to engage and team fight, but they don't really have an engage, mind you, right? There's not really anyone except the Silas who can go and mad. So that's going to be one of the problems with the composition, as they do not have the tools to engage while they do have the tools to team fight. And that's like the only thing I can see them doing, right? Ilawi continuously spending E and just trying to poke people out, and Rookie's like, you know what, doesn't matter, man. Hit me whatever you want, I'll take 100 HP, I'll have my pods popped up, and I'm chill AF at this point, so he is pretty okay. But slowly and steadily, White Shadows have a stronghold on the game, the 4,500 goal lead at 17 minutes, and now they have a fed. Both the soul lanes are extremely fed right now with 4 kills and 3 kills each, right? So they are online this matchup and they can look to do a lot of damage. Tempest is trying to 1v1 him, does not realize, oh, there it's a 2v2 right there. Eliminate this goes down instantly. Here comes Dew to save anything that he can. The Cyrus is there, but the Taric does not have ult, mind you. They're going to go after Tempest, but not successful in doing so. And Tempest is going mad right at the bot lane, gets a kill, and that fight just completely is won by White Shadows. And that's a really well good place convert. The damage from the Jace is insane at this point.
Ilawi should have turned around for the D there. Ilawi should have turned around for the D there. That just stunned her, and that guaranteed the kill at that point. White Shadows definitely now showing a more dominant side, a dominant performance. With this, they'll be able to seal the bot outer turret as well. And we now see a comfortable gold lead of almost 8k coming in. So, do you think it's becoming more and more difficult for PNX, right?
Yeah, definitely. In the last 3 minutes, they've lost every team fight. I've lost more than one tower. I've lost around 6 different deaths. That just allowed, White Shadows to propel the lead even further. But we have to give credit to Tempest. After a difficult start that he had in the early game, he has done massively well to come back and have 6 kills for himself, dishing out a lot of damage, knowing to be that fearsome Jace that we know him to be right now. And that's some... That shows, like how much he's grown as a player as well. He's not the one to get tilted anymore. A good rotation coming up from White Shadows to send him in the mid lane, and then him just making proactive plays. And now he's in his comfort element. Now he's the Tempest that will play fearless and will make plays happen. So really, really good on White Shadows to see that happening. That a gank or a bad early game does not deter this guy from still playing to his absolute potential. And now with nearly an 8,000 goalie, like you said, this is looking like a stomp at this point from White Shadows.
Honorable mentions to Tempest from this game. Yeah, Tempest, oh my god, like I have to give him all credits the game. He didn't tilt. The moment they swapped the lanes, he was able to get back on it. He was able to get kills. He was able to show map presence. The way he rotated both sides, he's just playing this game beautifully. And he's been very tilt-proof this game. So it's been very surprising. Tempest showing us a side of him that he doesn't show more often, and we would be love to see if we have a new and changed and improved Tempest.
Yeah, at this point you can see already 20 minutes in the game and Shadow's CSing is at another level, consistently being able to match around 9 to 10 CS a minute. He is probably gonna complete his 2 items once he goes back, and now they are able to get the mid lane, the dragon as well, so 3 dragons going a piece. Shokya making sure they have 100% dragon kill to this game, and now the game is looking to be going out of hands for PNX, right? They just do not have the plays anymore, nor do they have the items or the level advantages. That's a level 9 Silas in front of a level 12 jungler on the Echo doing so much damage. And the Rumble ult sort of whiffs at this point. Just nothing going in favor of PNX Red. They showed so much promise in the early 10 minutes of the game, but now it just looks like White Shadows have gotten complete control as they look to close out this game. We'll see if PNX Red can have some more aces up their sleeve. It's a nice ultimate. Flash being used from Shokya to see if he can land the E, but is not able to do so. Blows the Rumble's flash in return, so a trade you could say. And the bottom lane tower also now going down for PNX threat. So that's going to be a 9,000 gold lead coming, and the mid lane in the tower is the next target, and a flash Q lands onto the Silas and they get the kill right there. Taric ulti does not do much just to save him on a sliver of HP, which then Shadow T takes away just from a Q&E from the Syndra. And that's looking like it's going to be the mid and Riptor going out, and Rookie again lovely engages onto the Nautilus, playing it really well, dies in the process, but not before they get the Ilawi as well. That's a 4-for-1 trade coming out at the end of the day for White Shadows, and that's going to be the mid lane inhibitor going down. Could possibly look to go and get the next turrets, or might just look to back off and spend the gold and go get the Baron and do something else. So White Shadows completely
It's madness.
the aggression right now. Yep.
It's absolute madness. We've never seen this side of Joda. Hello, is that really Joda? What brilliant way he's initiating with that Nautilus. He's played that Nautilus so beautifully this game. He's been rotating well. He's been initiating well. That flash initiate like won them the whole fight. And I'm really excited to see Joda as a support. I'm pretty surprised from this performance, honestly, and I'm really excited to see how Joda develops as a support the more he plays that.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Joda, what is his characteristic? He's known to be an out-and-out instinctive player, plays by his rules, wants to do, and now he has a champion that he can do. He can dictate plays from the support lane, so it might be a great, lane for him to play. Because if he can go and play support and play like he did and find these engages, then it's something that will work out for White Shadows really well. Now the next plan of action. Oh, the Syndra QE hits so much damage for the Taric and the Rumble, and here comes Yoda again, lands a nice knockup. This time they're getting in trouble, but look at the stone platform, does not take any damage, and here comes Tempest with the teleport and the flash kill onto the Kai'Sa. This could just be game, guys, right now. No need for the Baron is what White Shadows say. Silas steals an Nautilus ult and runs away because there's nothing else that they can do at this point. And that's going to be White Shadows looking to close out this game with some fantastic performances from each player in their team. It started off difficult for them, but slowly and steadily they found their element, they got their kills, and it's a 23-minute storm, you could say. But it wasn't that close in the early game. Having said that, they do kill. That Echo does die, but they will get the kill back. So a great carry performance from both the solo laners of White Shadows. In 23 minutes, White Shadows have looked to complete the game, and they will move on to the quarterfinals of the Rise of Legion League of Legends Championship. What are your thoughts on the game, brother?
That was beautifully played. I'm going to go congratulate Tempest right after this game. He was tilt proof. He carried that game. He was doing burst amounts of damage, and I will ask all the other teams to look for Joda as the support. If you give him any sort of breathing space, he is going to roam. Things are starting to pick up. Thank you for logging in, guys, and we will be back shortly with the next game.
Yep, I'm just looking at the damage charts right now. Jace all the way, 18,000 damage from Jace, 18,000 damage from Syndra. These guys were the true carry performances. Both the soloers of White Shadows showing the hell up when it matters, and they will move on to the quarterfinals. The next game is going to be between FRE Gaming and Lanka Lands, guys. Just stay tuned. We'll be back in another stream very shortly. Till then, just to see you guys later.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.